We followed you. Over you know that you were a huge person in Andrew Breitbart's mind. He loved following your campaign leading up to your election back in 2010. So we've been following you for a long time over there, and I gotta say, what you were planning on being as a congressman here. I think you planned on coming to Washington and being part of the legislative process, being in committee, working on laws, bringing them to the floor and voting. And what I'm seeing going on right now in Washington, Colonel West, is that you got John Boehner sitting in a room with Barack Obama and Harry Reid, and they're coming up with some sort of plan, and then they just put it in front of you and say, here, vote on it. I mean, is this how it's supposed to work?
No, that's not how it's supposed to work, and I think that's where we have gotten away from being a constitutional republic. We have gotten away from understanding the three branches of government. We've gotten away from understanding that the legislative branch makes laws. They send it to the executive branch for approval, and then they enforce those laws. So it is not proper, and it is not due process or regular order for you to have a couple of guys that sit around a table and they quote unquote cut deals, and then they come back to us as representatives of the people and say, okay, this is what you need to vote on.
That's right. Regular order has been chucked out the window.
In committee, it should be amended in committee, voted on out of committee, come to the House floor where people can see it, and the American people can follow it and track it. So I'm very concerned about executive orders, about deals and negotiations, and this cannot be the new normal, because I think we start to get this republic off the rails of what our founding fathers intended it to be.
So, Congressman West, I know that a lot of your colleagues agree with you, and there's a good handful of them that are starting. Listen, they rocked the boat last week with the Plan B vote, and there's a lot of talk.
I was not going to support Plan B either.
Well, there's a lot of talk about on January 3rd, when the new Congress is convened, that your colleagues that are just as angry at you about the process right now might try to stand in the way of the Speaker being reelected. What are you hearing about that?
Well, I've read and heard about offering up possibly having a secret ballot when they do the roll call vote instead of it being open, because a lot of people are worried about retribution. So I believe that a secret ballot is part of who we are. Look, we were the people that stood up against card check. And so if we are going to be honest as far as our principles and beholding those things, then I don't see anything wrong with having a secret ballot come January the 3rd next year when they do that vote for the speakership.
Well, Congressman, you've been honest to your principles, and you've never been afraid to go out there in the media and fight for what you believe in. And I think that a lot of our elected officials should take a page out of your playbook. I mean, you mentioned, there are some media that are not going to be.
Sherry, a lot of elected officials want to stay elected, and
See, I think
it was not important to just be elected. It was important to be able to look at myself in the mirror and stand up for principles. So I think that's something that we have to start seeing more people do.
But if there were more of you, if there were more people with your bravery, I think there's strength in numbers, and I think that you were one of the few people who were willing to go out there, and they ganged up on you, and it made it easier. But I think that if more people, again, took a page out of your playbook and did what you did and showed that kind of courage and bravery and stood up for principles, I think we'd be much better off. I think the Republican Party needs more people who are willing to go out there and be good communicators and not be afraid of the media. The left-wing media is a fact, and we can't pretend they're not there or run and hide from them. Just my thought.
Oh, you're absolutely right, and I think that's the thing. I was a big threat to the left wing, and what they have to understand is just because I'm not in Congress does not mean that my voice will go away. So,
wait, are you ready to announce something here, Representative West? Where will your voice be going then? Please let us know your plans.
That's a real sneaky way of you trying to find out what I'm going to be doing. Right now, like I've said before, at this time when I'm here with my wife and my two daughters, and we're pondering over all these opportunities that have come our way, and we're going to pray about it and make that best decision. So about mid-January, into January, the entire country will know the next direction. But the most important thing is that I will continue to be a voice out there. I will continue to be part of this conservative movement and getting this constitutional republic back on track. And I think, again, that's a testimony to what I can do for Andrew Breitbart, is to continue the work that he set out there to do in the courageous and competent way in which he went about it.